confirmation of his group's desperation to breach the peace. Malaria, as a former deputy governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, and currently a directing staff at Nigeria's foremost policy research institute, the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, KURU, has unhindered access to government platforms. It is expected that he should be conversant with official information management protocols. The service also wishes to warn others who, in the guise of political mobilization and supposed pursuit of group interests, engage in hostile and subversive activities, to desist forthwith from advancing their inimical and parochial causes, as it will henceforth not condone unruly conduct of persons and groups that ought to know better. The Northern Governors Forum has described as baseless and unfounded allegation of one of its members as leader of the deadly Boko Haram terrorist group by former Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Obadiah Melafia. Chairman of the Forum and Governor of Plateau State, Simon Bakola Long, says the Forum is waiting for the outcome of the security investigation on the weighty and unverified claim from a man who should have assumed the position of schooling younger generation on the implication of false and unguided utterances.
So the security organization is already investigating. Let them come out with their report. Once they investigate, even the federal government, they know what to do. Security situations in the country is very vital. So anybody that is making a statement should also know that it is doing a statement that will help in addressing the insecurity, not escalating the insecurity.
The chairman further explains that the forum will subsequently review the statement and take appropriate measures against any act of sabotage on its continued efforts to end security challenges in the region. Unknown gunmen have killed the member representing Das constituency in Bauchi State House of Assembly, Musa Mante Baraza, and abducted his 2 wives and a year-old daughter. The police confirmed that the incident occurred last night in his hometown, Talatu Lamon. Completes the report.
The lawmaker, Mr. Musa Mante Baraza, was killed in his house in Das, the headquarters of Das local government area of Bauchi State, by unknown gunmen. Confirming the incident, the police public relations officer, Bauchi State Command, DSP Ahmed Wakil, explained that the incident happened at night, adding that 4 live ammunition were recovered at the scene of the incident. The police spokesperson noted that 2 of the late lawmaker's wives and his 1-year-old daughter have also been kidnapped. Meanwhile, NTA News gathered that investigations are ongoing to fish out perpetrators of the acts in Bauchi, Talatu Lamon. NTA News.
The Imo State Police Command has paraded 67 suspected members of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, alleged to have been planning an attack on security agencies in the state. Lorita Arinze Egwem reports that the suspects were paraded at the police headquarters already.
The 67 proscribed indigenous people of Biafra members paraded by the Imo State Police Command were said to have been intercepted by the officers of the 34th Field Artillery Brigade while on duty at Mahuebema checkpoint. According to the Commissioner of Police, Imo State Command, Isaac Akimoyede, members of the group were alleged to be on their way to Ebema to fortify themselves against bullet wound.
The group attacked and snatched 2 rifles from police during violent protests in 2018, of which the rifles were later recovered from a kidnap gang in a robbery operation. It will be recalled also that this IPOB had been proscribed by the federal government of Nigeria. As such, any gathering by the group is viewed as unlawful.
For security purposes, for you to escape from the flying gun and whatever, whenever we are going for a meeting. So we now decided to go for fortification.
While urging perpetrators of crime living anywhere in the state to desist from such acts, the Commissioner of Police says the suspects will be charged to court as soon as investigations are concluded. In Owerri, Lorita Arinze Egwem, NTA News.
Catholic Bishop Emeritus of Abuja, His Eminence John Cardinal Onayeko, has asked for a thorough investigation on the alleged sponsorship of insurgency in the country by some government officials.
Known as Evans, and signed an undertaking to finish the criminal case. Justice Oshodi gave the order to the Defense Counsel, Oyekunle Falabi, after delivering a ruling on the no-case submissions filed by Evans' 4 co-defendants, Joyken Abakboya.
Following the recent spike of COVID-19 infections in some parts of the world, countries are rolling out new measures to contain the spread. In Greece, the government has set a temporary 50% limit on all public gatherings, saying restaurants and bars in Athens and other areas must be closed by midnight. The Deputy Civil Protection Minister said the new measures starting Friday would last until August 24. Meanwhile, Spain's Health Minister Salvador Illa on Friday said that nightclubs and late-night drinking establishments are to close, while smoking will be banned in all public places as the country rolls out restrictions. In New Zealand, Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern has announced a 12-day extension of the country's COVID-19 restrictions after a cluster of new cases. In another development, the European Commission has reached a deal with British pharmaceutical firm AstraZeneca for the purchase of at least 300 million doses of its potential COVID-19 vaccine. The EU's executive arm, which is negotiating on behalf of the 27 EU states, said the deal also included an option to purchase another 100 million doses if the vaccine proves safe and effective. Meanwhile, numbers by Worldometer published at 6 p.m. Nigeria time show that cases worldwide have reached 21,172,280, out of which 13,985,156 persons have recovered, while 759,349 deaths are recorded. Africa has 1,089,894 cases, 24,752 deaths and 784,402 recoveries. In Nigeria, this
of the Ministry of Women Affairs. This was disclosed at the 20th Council on Women Affairs, which was held via virtual means occasioned by the coronavirus pandemic at the Ministry of Women Affairs headquarters in Abuja. The Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Women Affairs, Ifeoma Anagbojo, stated that the theme, gender-based violence, a shadow in pandemic and a call to an end, is significant at this time, considering the ravaging COVID-19, which has constituted a major threat to the socio-economic development of Nigeria and indeed the global community. She further added that the meeting affords key players an opportunity to design a workable strategy to address the plight of women and children, as well as an avenue for experience and expertise sharing on emerging issues affecting women and children. Details on this will come in our subsequent bulletin. Yobe State government, in collaboration with the development partners, is stepping up fight against malaria through seasonal malaria chemo prevention campaign targeting under 5 children in the 178 wards of the state, with a view to drastically reduce morbidity, maternal and infant mortality rates. Yunusa Suleiman reports that the impressive outcome in the 6 piloted local government areas has encouraged the stakeholders to expand the campaign to cover more grounds.
According to the World Health Organization, seasonal prevention is an intermittent administration of full treatment courses of an anti-malaria medicine to children in areas of highly seasonal transmission during the malaria season. Many believe that this strategy, which has proven to be effective, is a game changer. Hence, Yobe State is taking advantage of the new way of fighting the scourge of the disease by targeting children of under 5 for the administration of the anti-malaria dose in the 70 local government areas of the state.
General malaria is known to be one of the leading causes of morbidity or mortality in Nigeria, and it is no different in Yobe State. In order to significantly cut down on that, the seasonal malaria chemo prevention was introduced in the state.
And this intervention that we are doing is unprecedented in the history of the state. This is the first time that all the local government in the state will be keen into this intervention.
Desperate time, they say, calls for desperate measures. That is why Yobe State government is advocating for all and sundry to key into the agenda of eliminating malaria completely out of the state. In Damaturu, Yunusa Suleiman, NTA News.
The National Homegrown School Feeding Program of the federal government is one many say has continued to gain momentum despite the shutdown of schools, especially with the modified program tagged take-home rations. Ruth Aguele in this special report examines the gains for the beneficiaries in the Federal Capital Territory.
It is a day just like any other for these future generations, oblivious of their present situation or a pandemic that is ravaging the world. Life goes on for these young ones, despite schools being shut down. It is a different story for Asu Idris, who has been a security guard for 16 years at the Elia Primary School in Dobi Community, a suburb of Gwagwalada Area Council in the Federal Capital Territory. Daily, he comes to survey the premises ever since schools were shut down. He says life has not been the same catering for his 6 children since the outbreak of the pandemic. He is very hopeful of better days ahead, as light of hope once shone on him and his family during the lockdown, when his family benefited from the take-home rations distributed by the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development to ease hardships.
That time, no one was going out. Me and my family were suffering for the food. As they brought the food, then we start enjoying the food. Truly, we use it for a good 1 week.
The story is similar for Deborah Davis and her family, who were also beneficiaries of the take-home rations.
When they bring the palliative for us, we really enjoy it. Egg, oil, tomatoes, beans, salt. The children enjoy it because I cook the things for them, the egg, everything that they gave us.
I'm appreciating them for bringing it because if they have not bring it, I could have not known what would have happened. Maybe I could have not eaten, but I thank them for bringing it.
It was really helpful because as at that time I didn't have much food in the house, but when they came, they brought in food. My children ate from there, so they enjoyed themselves that period.
That very day they gave us that palliative. We don't have anything to cook for them, so we are very happy as we have the palliative.
The beneficiaries are part of the 29,609 households that were impacted in the FCT, with the take-home rations valued at 4,200 naira per household. A development many believe speaks volume, and for the little ones, they may be left out from learning in the meantime, but not left out of being fed by the federal government. In Abuja, Ruth Aguele, NTA News.
Our next stop is Benin, where Ogochukwuka is standing by. Hello, Ogochukwuka.
Jumai, thank you for joining us. The Ondo State Deputy Governor, Agbola Ajayi, has declared his intention to contest the forthcoming governorship election in the state on the platform of the Zenith Labour Party. Agbola Ajayi stated this while announcing his defection to the party from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in Akure. Olubukola Aduwo reports.
I welcome him to our party in the name of the Father.
The Ondo State Deputy Governor, who was accompanied by some leaders of the Zenith Labour Party and loyalists drawn from the 18 local government areas of the state, said he was overwhelmed by the warm reception accorded him. He said his decision to join the governorship race through the Zenith Labour Party is mainly to make Ondo State a role model for other states in the federation.
We are going to address all sort of infrastructure, especially the educational sector. We will also provide amenities that will make life easy for our people.
Some leaders said his joining the party will strengthen it and enhance its victory come October 10. They pledged their support towards the realization of his ambition.
It's a great progress or movement to the party. We want him to pursue the government that is people
people-oriented, people-focused, and people-driven.
Other prominent politicians who also defected to the party alongside the state deputy governor were also received by the party leadership. Their candidate has been presented to former state governor Dr. Olusegun Mimiko at his hometown Ondo for his blessings. In Akure, Olubukola Aduwo, NTA News.
And still talking politics, the governorship candidate of the APC, Pastor Sagi Izeyamu, has ended his campaign tour of Edo North with a visit to One East and Akukwedo local governments. Uduakobong Archibong reports that the APC formally received some political bigwigs who defected to the party during a rally in Afuze.
It was a roll call of grassroots politicians who are drumming support for the APC and its candidate in the two local government areas. For those in Owang East, the long closure of the Pa Michael Imodo Institute of College of Education in Afuze and the ultra-modern General Hospital built by the former Deputy Whip of the House of Representatives, Pali Irase, yet to be opened, are issues of campaign.
No single promise he made that he fulfilled. And Owang East people believe in developmental politics.
Track record, party discipline, and commitment to delivering for the people. For us in APC, those are our values.
The leaders of the party, including the candidate, Pastor Osagi Izeyamu, are optimistic that the simple agenda policy of the party will bring about a total turnaround in the fortunes of the state.
On September 19, we will replace them. The billboard in your brain about how you will vote, can they remove it?
All those areas where you not get lights, God said darkness no good. By the grace of God, when we come in November 12, we will say, let there be light.
Former Deputy Speaker of Edo State House of Assembly, Faith Omwagberai, and some executive members of the local government council defected to the APC at the rally. From Edo North, Uduakobong Achibong, NTA News.
And that's it from here. We return to Abuja for the continuation of the news. Good evening.
Chukuka, Nigeria's Georgia Obo clamors for improved funding of ladies golf. Details are more on sport with Ayodiji Makinde.
Nigeria's Georgia Obo has vowed to remain focused in a bid to become the first lady professional to win a golf major for the country. The 19-year-old made a slow start in the opening round of the Ladies European Tour Scottish Open in Scotland and identifies improved sponsorship as an essential ingredient of success.
If I can just clean up my mistakes, most especially with the putting, I have a great chance.
Meanwhile, Volleyball Professionals Association of Nigeria has intensified the call for more corporate investment in sports nationwide. The association expresses concern on the present state of facilities in the country, even as it honored Eddie Aderiokun, a former president, Nigeria Volleyball Federation, for his contribution to the development of the sport. In tennis, organizers of the US Open say the tournament will still go ahead from August 31 to September 13, despite defending women's singles champion Bianca Andreescu withdrawing due to coronavirus pandemic and limited time to prepare for the Grand Slam. To football now, record English FA Cup champions Arsenal have described the acquisition of Chelsea forward Willian as a bold step towards a top 4 finish next season. The 32-year-old will sport jersey number 12 after he was signed on a free transfer for 3 years. In Abuja, Ayodeji Makinde, NTA News.
A quick check on Saturday's weather prospect is next. Well, that's Network News for tonight. I am Jumo Yusuf. The production crew and I are saying thank you for your time. Good night.
In this time.
I am Elizabeth Abad. I am here to talk about facts. There is so much misinformation and distortion out there, especially on the social media. All it takes is just a click and the fake news goes viral. However, here in NTA, we deal with facts.
My job is to go out there and comb for factual news and information, just the way it is, all in the interest of the nation. I'm Najaa Tutijani.
Here on the NTA, we present only the facts, verified. Beware of fake news, don't be a victim. Stay tuned to the NTA.
Especially at this time of the coronavirus pandemic.
My name is Nnamdi Ojipo.
You can follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook at NTA Network News, Instagram at NTA Network, Twitter at NTA News Now, YouTube at NTA News Online. Or visit www.nta.ng. For live streaming, visit www.nta.ng/live. Now, you can stay updated on the go, be it on your TV, iPhone, laptop, or iPad, or download the NTA mobile application from your Play Store or App Store. NTA, you can beat the rich.
Imagine a station where you access information. Think of a station that creates awareness for national development. Imagine a station that prepares you for a bright and greater future. A station for all ages. Documentaries, classroom and television, events coverage, children's programs and variety shows. Always stay tuned to NTA Knowledge on the Star Times platform, channel 359. For partnership, sponsorship and advert placements, contact us on NTA Knowledge. NTA Knowledge, learning to broaden horizon.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me remind us all that this pandemic is spreading like wildfire. We must all arise to fight this potent and invisible common enemy by adhering to the guidelines and protocols for COVID-19, which includes personal hygiene, social distancing. We must wear masks in public places, obeying the stay-at-home order, and reporting unusual illness to the authorities for investigation.
This is the network service of the NTA.
She cries. She cries in anguish and in pain. She bears the scourge of her grief. She toils in vain for justice and succumbs to silence. He gloats over his malady. Like a beast, he pounces with no remorse. Her cry means nothing. Her pain feeds her shame. Like an orphan, she's left to grieve in solitude. But no more will she cry in vain. Her adversaries will henceforth bear the brunt of their cruelty. Rape is evil. Rape is a plague, a pandemic of monumental consequences. We must unite and kick it out of our society.
Connect with NTA and stand against rape and rapists. This message is brought to you by the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA.
As a strong immune system increases the chances of victims surviving COVID-19, a corruption-free society creates opportunities for citizens to thrive and prosper. Build your immunity. Stop corruption now. Report all acts of corruption to ICPC on this toll-free number 0800 2255 4272. This message is brought to you by ICPC and NTA.
Attitude helps you cope easily with the daily affairs of life. It brings optimism into your life and makes it easier to avoid worries and negative thinking. With a positive attitude, you see the bright side of life and expect the best to happen.